Hello, welcome to the Amateur Football YouTube channel with myself, Tabriz, the host, and I want to welcome Jamaal Horne from the London FA. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, all good. How's it going?
Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. So we're gonna go straight into it. This is the London Cup, the London Vets Cup, sponsored by the Amateur Footballer. First round results, and we've also done the second round. Ties done and verified. So you know what? We're gonna go straight into it. So the first round results are as follows, and literally again, let me just say there are some results, or like some like dates that have already gone, and even though you may not see the results, everything has been done officially on the London FA website. Jamaal and his team just have to do a few things behind the scenes. So we're gonna go with Adonis first, 3, Wapping Vets 2, Slade Green Knights 0, Long Lane Vets 8, Sporting Bengal 1, Italia Vets 1, and I believe it was Italia Vets 1 won 5-3 on penalties. Livingston Vets 5, Mayfair United Vets 4, Kawuya Vets 5, Sporting Santos 2. Is that is that a shock? Not really, especially with Sporting Santos's form. Go with Hale Ends Athletic Reserves 3, SP Athletic 5, Greenwich Challenge Vets 0, Glebe 7, and Ground Hoopers Vets 16. Rustlers Vets 0. Southeast Athletic 3, Catford 6. And literally that is what I have at this present moment. But let me just reassure everyone, there are again results and dates that need to be updated by Jamaal and his team. And literally, I know that this will get done in the next 24, 48 hours. Any surprises in those games, Jamaal?
That's the question more for you. But from what I can see, nothing too surprising. Some decent games you could tell. It'd be good to get your feedback on the games that you saw were involved in. But yeah, I was
Yeah,
surprised by a couple of scorelines were a bit wide. I understand if you don't have your best team out, especially your keeper, the scoreline can get a bit wide. But yeah, it's good to see some close games as well. Anatolians and Wapping. That should have been good. Anatolians were champions in 2020, I believe. So that was 3-2. Sporting Bengal always put a good vet side out, but they lost on penalties to Italia of Steels. So that was interesting. We'll leave Southeast Athletic and Catford to you. The 16-0 by the Groundhoppers Rustlers match, the 7-0 the Greenwich Challenge and the Glebe match, and the 8-0 from the Long Lane and the Slade Green match. Those are absolute whitewashers. But I suppose the first round that can happen. So hopefully there aren't any more sort of wide score lines like that later in
yeah,
the competition. And then obviously Livingston and Mayfair for the old school heads out there. Those are two vets teams that were sort of rich in culture, rich in success in previous decades. So I don't know who's involved those teams now, but that looked like an absolute classic. But 5-4, those are the kind of results. Those are the kind of games that we like to see.
yeah. No, it's very true. I think let me just go start from the get-go to say that Long Lane are probably going to be one of the dark horses in this competition. They're They're a kind of combination of a few teams in the Southern Vets League that have come together. And I know that they beat Greenwich. And just on cue, we have the manager of Catford Wanderers just to come in to actually talk about the result against South East London. Let me bring Ainsley in. Gaffer, how you doing, sir?
What's going on, Big T? All right.
I'm good. Could you talk briefly about the Catford Wanderers game against Southeast London? Is it kind of Southeast London or Southeast Athletic?
Southeast Athletic.
Yeah, Southeast Athletic. Apologies.
All right. Well, as you know, it was kind of thin on Saturday with a few people being unavailable, so it was kind of thin, but we got the job done. Um, no disrespect to them, they weren't the greatest opposition. They gave it a go. They got one or two players in that can play football right now, but I think it was just too much for them all over the pitch. Um, we tried something quite new, as you know, and we blew them away. I think we had too much quality in our team, and I mean, better side one on the day, really. Obviously, there was a little blunder where I think they brought it back to 2-2 with the mistake from the keeper and Chin. And after that, I just think everyone said, you know what, let's just put this game to bed. You know what I mean? Obviously, it was a London Cup, so we can't really be messing around. You know what I'm saying? So, but fair play to them, they gave it a go, they didn't stop working.
And what's the kind of one team you think will really go far in this competition?
London Cup, right?
Yes.
Well, who's still in the draw? I presume.
I mean, there's still all of the big hitters. You're like talking Charcoal, West Fulham, Kouya, are in there. Long Lane, Herne Bay, Catford.
You know what? The big hitters are in there, innit? So
yeah,
you know what it is as well. When it's a cup game, it's all about who turns up on the day, man. So like, you know, you're gonna say the likes of Charcoal, the Masters, West Fulham, Korea's having a good season so far. Um, is Holland in it?
Hollington, Jamala Hollington in the competition. I don't think they are.
Okay, well, I don't know, but like I said, the big hitters in it. But like I said, when it comes to cup games, just depends on who turns up on the day. So as long as we're in it, we don't mind playing anyone. Man. That's just our ethos. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll look up Hollington now. 'Cause, that name rings a bell. Which league do they play in?
They're playing this like Southern Vets Division 2.
Okay, I'll see if they definitely haven't entered. So
Yeah.
is that a surprise to you that they haven't entered? Would you expect them to be in it?
I would expect them to be in it. Gaffer, what do you
Well, it's
think?
the London. So I thought why wouldn't it's like teams from all over London. So why wouldn't you want to press yourself against everyone in it? So rather than just doing the League Cup where you're playing everyone who you more than likely played already, you know what I'm trying to say to you. So I thought everyone would benefit. That's the biggest cup for me, London Cup, isn't it? So,
Well, yeah, I won't lie. Running the London Cup for several years now. It's even the vets, the youth, open age. It doesn't really matter. You be a bit surprised sometimes. Certain teams that choose not to enter. Now, obviously, if you have a strong side but you can't get your strongest side out every week, then London Cup isn't for you. So maybe they're afraid of getting a hiding. I don't know. Is the commitment, or they're still building the squad? I don't know.
that's what's going on quite regularly these days. I've noticed that people ain't got certain people in their team or they haven't got a strong side. They don't want to turn up. You understand? And I'll play with 11 men, no matter who we got on the side on the day. I think we pulled off one game this season because I think everyone was on holiday. That was a big difference. But London Cup, man, you got to enter that, man. You know what I mean? But like you said, though, everyone's got their own preferences and their reasons why they may not enter. So, you know what I mean? Take nothing away from no one. But yeah, I thought everyone would be honest.
Okay, cool. Ainsley, thank you so much for like coming on. Please stay tuned because like we like have the second round and some very, very interesting ties. But let me not say nothing until I put it on the screen.
I've missed it. I've actually just got in not long ago, and I just tried to obviously make the show to you. You know what I'm saying? Have you done the draw yet?
Literally, the draw's been done and verified. So I'm just gonna put the ties up on the screen. I'm sure that you're gonna have a few conversations with myself and some other guys. But yeah, I'm not gonna say nothing until I put it on the screen, and I'm sure that we will speak later on.
No problem.
Thank you so much for like coming on.
No problem. Blessing.
Thank you, man. So that's Ainsley Gaffer at Catford. Any other surprises? I'm thinking, well, of course, Glebe. I would literally expect them to, to have beaten their like opponents. Of course, LSU Masters are like still in it. I think it's going to be a very, very strong competition this year. And again, for me, the surprise of the round was kind of Kuya beating Santos. So let's go to the draw that's been done and verified for round 2. Groundhoppers versus Old Peps. Kawuya Vets versus Independent. SP Athletic versus Krogas Phoenix. Long Lane versus Hillenden Seniors Vets. Catford Wanderers versus the winners of tie number 10, which I believe, hold on right there. So tie number 10 is between Old Plistonians and Herne Bay Vets. Wolford Town Vets versus Sporting Kits. Charcoal Vets versus Summer Athletic. Jamrock FC versus Crayford Arrows New Vets. London South United Masters versus Glebe. The winners of tie 17, which is Allen Boys Vets versus Parkfield Youth versus and they'll be playing Rains Lane Vets, Shepherd's Bush, All Stars versus Livingston Vets, All Star Vets, All Stars versus West Fulham Vets, Enfield Borough Vets versus London Turkish Masters Vets, Continental Vets versus Italia Vets, and Adonis Vets first versus Continental United Vets, and winner of 16 versus winner of 18. And that is winner of 16, that's Old Chigs Vets Blues. And they are playing Latimer Road Vets. And the winner of that will be playing Old Peps Vets Seconds. And they are playing Canning Town Vets. So hopefully that makes sense. And all of this information will be on the London FA website, and it's also as well, I'll be putting it on the amateur football YouTube page, and the Instagram page. So what are the ties there for you, Jamaal, that are very tasty?
Well, they're more than one, that's for sure. I think it's it's always interesting, especially once you get out of the first round, because that's when you think the competition starts. Now, Independent and Kauai is interesting because I'm pretty sure Independent knocked out Kauai last season, so that'll be an interesting one. I think Summers Athletic, I don't know much about them. I know they've been in contact with me a lot, so they seem really, really keen. Keenness is very important in regards to these sort of competitions. So that would be interesting. Glebe won 7-0. So them now playing LSU, I think that'll be interesting. So that's one I'll keep an eye on. All Stars versus West Fulham would be interesting. I think FC Shabu against Livingston would be another one that will sort of raise an eyebrow. So, but once again, those are just the ones we're looking at. There's always going to be a few that we miss that will end up being, the match of the round. So we'll see how it goes. The Vets Cup is quite simply one of the best London Cup competitions. There are some cup competitions where it's going to be exciting, it's going to be cool, but it's going to come down to 3 or 4 teams who will end up winning it. There might be a surprise team in the final, depending on how the draw comes out. But with the Vets, I do feel like up there with the Sunday Challenge Cup and maybe the Senior Cup and a few others where about a dozen teams can win it. It is down to the luck of the draw, and it will be interesting. West Fulham and Charcoal obviously get a lot of the attention. I get that, but people do need to remember that they won a lot of their previous quarterfinals, semifinals by 1 goal or on penalties. So it's been close. It's been close. I know they both got to the final 2 years in a row, which is just amazing achievements. They've won 1 cup each in the past season. But don't forget, Jamrock and LSU and SP Athletic, these teams all got knocked out by 1 goal or on penalties. So
yes, Sporting Kits as well, and
Kits, yeah. So yeah, you can't overlook them. So we'll see. We'll see.
For me, of course, Catford, my team, will be playing either Old Plistonians or Herne Bay. And the kind of connection with Herne Bay is I played against them when I used to play for Independent, and Owen, who's a pillar on the Stoppage Time penalty show, plays for Herne Bay. So it'd be quite interesting if Herne Bay beat Old Plistonians. I know that they're based deep in Kent as well, but again, that would be that should be a very fruitful reunion. That's
so
if they
what
get
you're saying, you want Herne Bay to win, is what you're saying. Because
what I mean. What all Plistonians are a decent team. Do I expect Herne Bay to actually beat them? I do, but again, as you said before, it's a cup competition. And what I know about Herne Bay is that they're very organized. They I'd say win their league respectively every year. And of course, talking to Owen, winning the London Cup and literally winning these prestigious cups kind of gives them a lot more leverage, and probably a lot more respect, outside outside of their area. So I know if Catford do play Herne Bay, it's definitely going to be a tough game.
Okay, which is a long-winded answer to say yes, you prefer Herne Bay to win. I mean, Old Prometheans, I don't know much about them. I know they're based around in Croydon, so it'd be interesting. I know it's going to be obviously every trip's going to be a long trip for Herne Bay, so the travel does come into it. It's always tricky. It doesn't matter if it's at grassroots level or even at the top level when a team dominate their league, but you have to question the quality of the competition. So, with them coming in to the London Cup for the 2nd year in a row, I mean, what commitment by them, by the way? For them to be questioned, you're only winning because of the competition, and for them to always make the 60, 70, 80-mile journey into London just to play the London Cup once a month, I think that shows a hell of an attitude, So I always have a lot of respect for Herne Bay as a result of that. But they still got to come in. I know they gave a good account of themselves last season, but they've got to come in. They've got to play Old Prometheans. They do have home advantage. It is what's going to be. So we'll see how that goes.
And all ties, all of the second round ties are going to be played on the 5th or 6th of November, which is the first weekend in November, weather permitting. And of course, fixtures can change. But everything's down.
And all the results are finalized. A couple of matches had to get rescheduled because teams are playing in either the Middlesex Cup or another county cup. So if they're part of that county, then that match takes precedence. So, and I think one match, a Saturday team was matched with a Sunday team, which shouldn't have happened. One of the teams clicked the wrong button on their affiliation application. So those two teams have to sort out a date as soon as they can. But yes, we're expecting all of the second round ties to take place on the 5th and 6th of November.
Cool. Great stuff. Thank you to everyone that's been tuning in. Please like and subscribe. The London Vets Cup, sponsored by the Amateur Footballer. Second round ties been done. We will see you first week in November with the results show. Stay safe and have a brilliant Wednesday.